Can you believe that God is good even when life is not good? Like, can faith in Jesus actually help during hardship? But when we start in times of struggle to see what is lost, we also see what is going to last. And the lasting things are of unsurpassable and unspeakably great value. This time has been labeled as the COVID era, yes, but also alongside that, we are living in the Christ era. Jesus has come. He has brought us victory and deliverance and power for now. On that day when Jesus comes, when his grace is brought to us in his revelation, they're going to be reminded of your good deeds, and it says they will glorify God. Every person that you know, yourself included, every person has unsurpassable worth to God. Do your words reflect that? Does the way you think about others match that? Do you view others the way God views you? When you choose Jesus, you are chosen. When you choose God, you are chosen to be one of the holy priesthood. You are chosen to be one of his inner circle that has access to God, that ministers to God and represents him to the world. This is not just for people who are pastors, paid Christians. No, this is true of every person who believes in Jesus Christ. Everybody is trying to direct us to something that removes suffering from our life, not taking us towards it. Nobody's selling suffering because nobody is buying it. But to this, Peter says, you have been called.
So at the very heart of Christianity is this idea that God himself gave himself for us. That this God, Jesus, who had all power and glory and honor in heaven, made a decision to give that up to become human, and then to give himself over to suffering and death for us. And Jesus wasn't coerced into this. No one forced him to do it. Jesus did this willingly.
Regardless of how difficult it is and how evil it is around you in the time that you find yourself in, and the place you find yourself in, every conversation, every circumstance, every relationship, every moment you enter, you are entering from a position of blessing.
Peter wants to remind us that though our lives may be filled with difficulty, we are part of a bigger story where there's a much bigger glory, a much bigger goal, a much bigger end that we could ever imagine. We can only see it by our faith, but we are pointed to it. The glory of God made possible through Jesus Christ. His life, his death, his resurrection. When we place our life and our faith in him, he puts us into the story in a position that we are headed towards spending eternity in the glory of God, the one who made the mountains.
Jesus makes all the difference. He carries us. He strengthens us. He gives us mercy and grace to help us in our need. And best of all, he walks us through the pain to the other side.